Just so hi.
You good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm also good.
Yeah, welcome, man.
Thank you.
Are you trading today?
I was in Euro GBP character
Mm-hmm.
development, but I'm in USD card.
Oh, USD card.
Yeah, wrongs.
Sales.
No, I'm taking wrongs.
USD CAD.
Buy. Yeah,
You're in the buys.
yeah.
Yeah. This one was straight buys, and we had even talked about it. For this one, this was the range, and I think we had even mentioned about it in the morning session, and also even in the Outlook video that I did. So the range is from these highs all the way down to these lows and back to these highs. That range is filled. Then a push to the downside. Then a rally back to these highs. Then slight retracement. I thought it will come to this area here, but instead reacted from here. So I expect that pushed into this level, 1.37 for 50 areas. And if price even gains more momentum, we might see price rally even into these levels of 1.38, 100 areas. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have that. Let's observe and see how price reacts to this. I want to see price take out these highs and rally all the way into these levels of 1.38, 100 areas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I guess guys have joined in. Huh. Let me see. We are looking at GBP USD. This is GBP USD. So this is what I was saying about GU. So now that price has tapped this area, I'd want to see we might have price probably just retracing from the demand, then coming back into this demand. Not really, not any form of bullish reversal, more of just reactions from this demand because of the current ongoing tensions, and it's causing the dollar to strengthen. So that's why we are seeing very strong drops in these pairs. Okay, so it's same thing even for Euro USD. I think for Euro USD we actually have we had a very nice setup, a very nice bearish reversal setup for Euro USD. So this is what you have. So let me clear this. You look at Euro. There is Euro USD. So this is what we have. So Euro USD finally it has broken below this level here. And if you look to the left, this is what we have. Mm, if you look to the left, this is what you have. So you have from this, you have something like this. So this was a previous supply, then price broke above this, rallied all the way to these highs of 1.2400. Then price came back to this level here. Okay. Then a push to the upside, which is now this is the mid-range, then price coming back to demand. Then consolidation here. This was consolidation. Consi price failed to break above this. And you remember even last week during the sessions, I used to mention that normally or previously I would expect something like this, then we see a potential push to the upside. But with how prices were looking last week, okay, with how prices were looking last week, I was very skeptical about it. That is why I didn't mention about taking any buys from here, but instead waiting until this zone gets broken. And eventually, we have seen price break the zone. We have had a single candle retest here. So although now price has formed a lower low, so I want to see a potential continuation of the drop lower into these next structure here. This is a structure of 1.16570 and 1.16320 areas. Okay, so we have 1.16570 and 1.16320 areas being the next level of interest. Then after that, I'd want to see the next area that prices react to. That is, if we will see price hold at this area, or if we will see price break below and keep pushing lower, right? So these are very key area of interest to observe, but this is the major target for this drop. This level here is the major target for this drop that we are seeing. Okay, so these on the 4 hour. Let me see how the daily looks like. This is how the daily looks like. Mhm. You have the daily there, and then you have these like that. Then we have that. Yeah, like this. So with having it like this, you have the full range. We have the full range being from here. We have a range from here, from this area, all the way to these highs and back to this area. You have a range there, but also now you have the major range from this demand area. And now that you've seen the strength in which price has broken below this level, chances are high the first area of interest we will see price react from is this demand. Then the next area of interest is when price breaks below demand. Okay, when price breaks below demand and keeps pushing lower to the next area of interest like that. Okay, so we have that. That is what we have. That is what you have on Euro USD. That is what you have on Euro USD. Then let me have a look at. I've looked at USDCAD and USD CHF. This is gold. We've looked at US oil and UK oil. So let's have silver. Let's look at silver. You can see even for silver as well. It is the same thing here. And these are range on the daily. If you look at these are range on the daily. If you look at these are range on the daily. If you look at the 4 hour, let me see the 4 hour. Mhm. If you look at the 4 hour, this is what you have. So the range is we have the range from this demand all the way to these highs of 120 and back to this demand. That range was filled. They have a push to this highs, then back to this demand. That range was filled. A push to these highs, then price comes back to this demand. That range was filled. Then a push to these highs, a slight retracement, then a break above. Price formed higher highs at 96. Okay. So, can we redraw USDCAD zones? Yeah, sure, we can. In a bit. So this is what you have. These highs of 96. Okay, we have these highs of 96 then are pushed to the downside. So we have these area here, and also we have price can either react from these lows. Okay, price can either react from these lows or all the way down to this demand down here. Okay, so we have that. Yeah, we have that. So let's observe and see how price reacts to this. So this is the first area of interest we will be looking out for. And the next area of interest is these levels down here at 82. Okay. 82.53, 82.53750, I mean 82.53714, right? So that is the area of interest. Then USD CAD, let's see. Mm, the zones for USD CAD. Mhm. Mm, mm, USD CAD. So this is what you have. So for USD CAD, so we redraw or redo, I mean, we redo these zones. Cecilia. Where? But now, okay, let me do it on a different broker. Because for that one, I'll mess up quite a bit of my analysis. So this is what you have, right? This is what you have here. hmm This is what you have here. Hi, Banis.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I just realized my mic was open. Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Well, welcome to the session. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to the session. So, yeah, this is USGCD. I'm trying to refine these levels here. Uh, Let me have this. Let me place this right here. You have that. Then for these mid-level, level like this area, this area like that, then probably I'd have something like that. Yeah, something like this. If I was to redo these levels, I'll redo them like this. Then now this major one. This major one is, we have the major area there. Then you have also this one here like that. Remember this one was 2025, yeah, last year, Jan. I remember this. So I will redo it like that. Cecilia, you can see that. Then now bring back the candles, something like that. So now when I check even the daily, this is what you have, even on the daily time frame. So on the daily, you can see we can clearly see the major ranges and the minor ranges. So okay, the major range from this demand all the way to this supply, then from this supply all the way down to this demand, that range is filled. But within now the major range, you have several minor ranges like from this supply, I mean this demand to this supply, back to this demand to this supply. So you have something like this. So that is the minor range. Then have a minor range now from here all the way to this, back to this again, the minor range. So once that minor range is filled, we have now another range to fill up to, we have at this area here, then we also have these highs at 1.39 thousand. Then you also now have the major range, which is all the way back to the supply. So like now the question that Mike was asking about, like a position to swing, like something like that. So if you had like now these USDCAD from somewhere like here, you'll have been able to hold it, let's say all the way to this supply area. That is if now the dollar strengthens all the way up. Okay, so you have something like this, then I push to the upside like that. Okay, so we have that on USD/CAD, but the buyer still remains bullish. Okay, the buyer still remains bullish. So that is USD/CAD. We had NZD/USD. I don't know if guys are still in this position. There is NZD/USD and this on the daily time frame. So remember, we actually started talking about these NZD/USD on the 9th of Feb, right? So it's almost about a month since us discussing about this. So you have the major range again. This is based off the daily time frame. Okay, we had price filling coming into this supply. The first push to the downside, then a rally back to the supply. That range was filled. That is the minor range. Then you have now a strong push to the downside, and I'm expecting the major range to be filled back to this demand because this is a previous supply. This is a previous supply on multiple occasions. So that is why I'm saying this is a very key area of interest because you have the major range from this demand to this supply and back to this demand like that. Okay, so you have that. We have that right there, and then now this like that. Okay, so we'll be waiting for the full range to be filled and prices to drop back to this demand area of 0.58400 areas. Okay, and you can see this is a range on the daily time frame. Okay, so same case with this, we had from this demand all the way to supply, then from supply like that all the way down to demand, and that range is filled. Okay, so now the same case with what you have right here. So we are still in the mid-range, and as long as you're still in the mid-range and with the current momentum that you're seeing in the market, chances are high that we will see price keep pushing lower. So once you see price take out this low, expect a potential continuation of the drop lower all the way to these areas of 0.58400 areas. Okay, so expect prices to keep pushing lower all the way down to these areas of 0.58400 areas. Okay, so we have that. We have that. That is on in the DUSD. So let me have a look at. So guys, in case of any question or any pair you'd like me to look at, just feel free to let me know. You can unmute. All of you, we've done these sessions together, probably apart from now, Cecilia. So you know how we usually do it. You can just feel free to unmute. Then let me know the pair you'd like me to check out, and we get to check it out together. So in the DSD now, these on the 4 hour time frame, chances are high. You can see here it even looks more clearer that we will break these lows here. The moment we break these lows, we will be looking out for a potential retest. So it is more of something like this, then a push lower. So you can watch out for this one. Once you have that, the retests of the break below this, expect you can have some good potential entries. All right, you can have some good sell potential entries here. Then you hold it all the way down. All right. Yeah, there's that. That is on silver. Have I looked at NAS and you start, NAS 100.
Also Euro AUD. Yeah.
What, Euro AUD?
Yeah.
Okay. That is NAS. Then you have US 30. US 30. There is US 30. So, this is what you have. Let me start with US 30. So, For US 30, this is what you have. We've seen price, we've had the major range from this demand. Yeah, from this demand. We've had the major range from this demand all the way to these highs of 50,400, about 500 areas. Then back to this demand, that range is filled. Then a rally to the mid range because now this is the mid range here. This was the previous all-time high before these new all-time highs are formed. And it was for quite a while, that range of 49,600 areas. Okay, it was for quite a while. So price has eventually broken. Price eventually got to this area. So this became like a supply area, right? So each time you see, each time price reacted from this area, it has been an area of supply, an area of supply, an area of supply. Now price broke below, formed a lower low here. So I was anticipating a potential retest and a potential continuation of the drop lower, but I can already see a candle close above this demand here on the 4 hour time frame. And if we check out the daily, this is what you have. So on the daily, this looks more like price looking for the most discounted price looking for the market looking for the most discounted price before now a potential bullish reversal, because it's the same thing that happened here. Is the same thing that you're seeing happen here. So chances are high the moment we have a candle close above this, the next thing we might see is a retest of this a potential continuation, before a potential continuation of the rally higher. Okay. So we have that. Let's observe and see. Let's observe and see how price reacts to this. Okay. So yes, Alpha. Oh, what's up?
Okay, Jeffrey, with the ongoing geopolitical conflict,
Yeah.
is it really wise to buy on indices?
No, it's not advisable.
Okay.
It's not advisable. So I'm talking about this based of the technical aspect. However, the moment we see now price, because you see we've had a close above this, so I don't see if price will get to this area. Then we see a push, like let's say a candle form something like this. Then that will be a good confirmation for potential sales. But currently, this candle here has this candle here has brought about, you're seeing price close above this area. So what you might want to see is now a strong bearish push, let's say even back into this zone. Because once the moment you have that, the moment you have a strong bearish push into this zone, then you can have a good selling opportunity. Okay, so it's more of waiting for confirmations for this one. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. It's more of just waiting for confirmations. Mike, you told me look at something.
Euro UD. Euro UD.
Yeah, Euro AUD. Euro AUD. Euro AUD. We have that. And say this one is still pushing lower.
I was stopped at break even.
Your stop loss at break even.
Yeah, I was swinging it. Then I held it over the weekend, but my stop loss was at entry. And in the morning, I was out of the trade.
Or
Oh,
because of the gap, the way it gapped up.
Yeah.
yeah, because
Mm.
this one gapped up, but this was a very nice bearish continuation. So the break below, then you have another break below, a retest, then continuation of the drop lower. The next area of interest being these immediate lows on the daily at 1.64 thousand areas. Okay.
Now, a pair like this, how is it being affected by the geopolitical news? It doesn't have the dollar.
Yeah, this one is not
But
really. This one is not being any. This one is not being affected in any way.
okay.
Yeah, this one is not being. That's why you can see it's not. It's not. It doesn't have any. I mean, much reactions like the dollar pairs. This one is just on its own pace.
Okay.
Okay.
And in the morning when we looked at the UD/USD, was it at supply? How
Yeah.
did it?
AUD USD. It was at supply. Yeah.
So any chance it may push deeper? Actually, I've
Uh,
never traded
probably.
the USD.
Yeah, probably just a bit. Probably just a bit.
Why? But it
Like,
seems to be a very slow pair.
yeah, AUD USD is usually very slow. Very, very, very slow.
It has been there at supply, like it breaks out just playing around entry for like what? That's how long that whole consolidation is. How long?
Yeah, several days.
Looks like a whole month.
Yeah.
Eh, okay.
Mm. Yeah, so we have that on AUD USD. So any other pair you'd like us to look at?
Mm, did your NZD did it go back to supply? We were waiting for it
Euro NZD.
to get. Yeah,
Euro NZD. Huh.
I think it left us. We never got when it broke supply. We never got a retest. So the 700 pips
Oh,
hazikuiva.
oh yeah, Euro NZD. But let me see. Euro NZD.
It has been pushing back up, consolidating.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone who took the trade?
And, myself, I didn't take
Alpha.
it.
Okay.
Probably either Cecilia or Alpha.
Alpha ulichukua?
No, no, no.
But Cecilia ndo najua alikuwa na tradingi ma NZD hata GBP NZD. Cecilia
Yeah,
are you in the trade?
I don't like Euro NZD. It tends to consolidate a lot.
Yeah.
yeah. Usually minor pairs sometimes they really consolidate too much. So that's why even myself, I usually don't trade them.
And by the NZD card,
And the D card, I
because
don't
yours
trade
was
it,
it
but
saying
let me
that
see.
the position
Yes.
was closed in profit the time it retraced.
Are you closed it in profit?
Yeah, the time it retraced was it on Monday? It
Uh-huh.
retraced. It stopped me out in profit, just like NZD USD also. NZD USD, I want to look for a re-entry again and push it
Oh,
all the way down.
okay.
But I'm seeing this one is almost in demand.
Yeah, this one is almost at demand. Yeah. This one is almost at demand. It's just like very few pips away from demand. This one is very, very few pips away from demand.
And what's the reason why AUD USD push is it's such a slow pair and it has the USD with it?
Because I think because of the AUD. AUD USD generally has always been AUD USD has always been very slow, like for a very long time. It's one of the characteristics of that pair. It's just known for being slow.
Because they're in the same region with NZD, but NZD seems to have better moves.
Yeah, and the USD usually has better moves than AUD USD by far.
And another thing I noticed early this morning, I slept at around 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see when the markets open how the prices will start moving. But I realized when Sydney opens, there was no volatility. Actually, no pair was moving at all.
Yeah.
I guess maybe when Tokyo opens is when we start seeing the moves for Asia.
Yeah, most probably. And then you see now everyone in the markets was waiting for 1 a.m. I even had traders, remember I was even telling you, I even had traders, even from the Chuka and Embu event, I had guys who were texting me at 2:30 a.m., 3 a.m. at what are we looking at? And I'm like, so when I woke up and I'm like, Sasa hawa watu. What do you mean you're texting me at 2 a.m. You're asking me for a setup? Even if I saw that text, to be very honest, I wouldn't have replied. So what do you mean at 2 a.m.? Nimelala bana.
I
But now,
usually see,
you see,
yeah,
the moment, even with any market, Asian will only move very minimal. Okay.
yeah,
Then when it comes to now London is when now some like a fraction of the major market participants are like in the markets.
yeah,
Then when now it comes to New York, like all the market participants are watching. Okay.
yeah,
Then when you come to the largest market participants, I mean the largest market participants are usually not in Asian session. They are found in London and New York. Now,
mm,
The Asian markets, Asian session is usually now those Asian markets, the JPYs, the NZDs, the AUDs. Not very. That is why you find those pairs they usually consolidate a lot, and they usually don't have a lot of volume or volatility.
How do
Again,
those guys make money if when they are awake there is nothing moving at all?
from those,
Ama they are the ones who use the limits and stops.
yeah, those limits and stop orders. Then also they have like now probably them they trade now the Asian indices like the Hang Seng, the Nikkei 225.
Yeah,
Those Japanese and Asian indices. But you see now those
okay.
ones, not the major participants are not like very focused on that as compared to like now the dollar pairs.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I mean, usually that time, Asian session, especially for like Mondays, it's not usually even the best time to look at markets. The best time
If
usually, yeah,
can you check the BP CHF?
GBP CHF.
Yeah.
Okay. GBP CHF. I see you have about like 6 minutes.
And
Uh,
I think there is some sort of manipulation. GBP, okay, all the safe events, CHF, gold, and silver, they are a bit, it's as if they are reversing. Maybe it's a manipulation, then maybe you start running again.
I was expecting that because everyone today woke up kila mtu anataka kuwekelea bet kwa buys.
yeah,
Then
everyone today
maybe
was waking up at
mkishaweka
everyone.
mkishaweka wana reverse. So I'm sure today there are people who removed their life savings waende wanunue gold then ina retrace.
I'm definitely yes.
Eh,
Kuna school fees ya mtoto wa mtu sahii imewekelewa golo acheza.
na rent. Kwanza kuna mtu amewekelea rent ndo alipe by fifth.
Bana jo.
Alafu ime
Yeah, yeah. This is GBPCHF. Let me bring this line here. Then,
even GBP AUD does it make good moves? Nakumbuka Poshi alikuwa anapenda GBP AUD.
Yeah, she used to like that, but me, I find it very slow.
There is a lot of consolidation on GBP AUD.
Yeah. GBP CHF, this one has a nice range. Demand all the way to supply, then supply all the way back to demand. So this was a fake out. We might see probably price do something like this. But now wait for the candle close confirmation above demand for this push to the upside. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
If
you have that. Then you said GBP AUD.
I was just mentioning it, but I used to scalp it kitambo with
Okay.
this.
So, I guess we've done. I think guess we've done quite a lot. Let me first look at the dollar index before we end the session. It's about like three minutes, and I don't want to tell guys to rejoin. I think we've done enough for today. I've shared quite a bit of
Yeah.
videos. You remember this dollar index when I was talking about dollar index last week when prices were here, and I mentioned that I'm anticipating to see prices of the dollar rally from this demand here. And this has been a very key area of demand from last year, July. See from here,
Mm.
last year in July, we have been within this range from this supply down to this demand. Then from this demand, all the way back to this supply. From supply back to demand. From demand back to supply. From supply, again, all the way down back to demand. From demand, a push up, a retest, like that. So now we are seeing a push to this. I don't want to see price come fast to these highs of 99. Then the next area of interest is price filling the major range back to the supply at 100.37 areas here for the full range to be filled. Okay, so you have that. So let's observe and see how price gets to react to this. Okay.
And is this dollar index something tradable?
Yeah,
Can you?
on some platforms it is. I'm not very sure if you can trade it on Scope. I only know that you can analyze it, but I don't think one can trade it on Scope. But I think on if let's say you're doing even prop farms and things like that, you can be able to trade it. It's tradable.
No, actually you can on scope. Naona iko na nini.
Oh, you can.
I can see it as a dot pro.
There.
I don't
Uh,
think you can put trades.
You do?
It's there, but I don't think you can put trades.
okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. So that is what this is what you have on the dollar. This is what you have on the dollar index. So you have quite a bullish dollar. This is the first area of interest. The next area of interest is all the way to this supply up there, back to 100 areas, 100.372. So anyway, let's observe and see how price gets to react to this. All right.
Okay.
So any questions, guys, before we end the session?
When pressing stop loss, do you put your stop loss at this line or just below any row or any turning point before the up or the down move?
It depends. Usually it depends. It depends. If I'm taking my trade on the proximal line, then the stop loss will be above the distal line. I mean, if I'm taking my trade on somewhere like a buy like here, the stop loss will be below here. If I'm taking a sell from here, the stop loss will be above somewhere here. But if let's say I'm taking a trade that is in the middle, then I'll have to adjust my stop. So that's what I'm saying. It usually depends with the structure that forms. Okay.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking it, I'm considering weeks because sometimes there's a level, then there are weeks that are left outside the level. Example,
Yeah, usually
there's a week.
when you have weeks, now you estimate with the size of those weeks. If the weeks are very quite bigger than the zone, then you estimate like the half of the size of that week.